What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have some giant news to go over today. Roblox, Airbnb, and Upstart all reported earnings in the after hours. Their stocks are going crazy. The market had a decent day too. We have some big updates with Russia and Ukraine, and we have a lot of big things to keep on the radar for the rest of the week. So stick with us today. We have a lot of important news, and there's a lot to go over. So, Tom, we're not going to waste any time. So, what's going on?
Yeah, overall, Mike, it was a pretty good day in the market. We have lots of stocks in the green, but one bad thing that we do have to note is that Roblox ended up falling down here in after hours on their earnings as they reported a negative EPS that came in worse than the estimate. And we can see MarketWatch has a beautiful article that they made today that shows a little bit of the Roblox characters here, but you can see they pretty much say that they drop as they miss on their bottom line results, and then their bookings also fell short. And we can see they have a lot of great numbers here. They reported a fourth quarter loss of 143.3 million or 25 cents per share, compared with a loss of 58.7 million or 30 cents a share at this period a year ago. So at least it's not quite as bad on their EPS compared to a year ago. But in the end, though, these numbers were pretty underwhelming.
True that. Now, the good thing is that their daily active users were 49.5 million, which is a pretty nice increase of about 33% from a year ago. So it's pretty good there. Obviously, more people are using their platform. Roblox also recently had that news with Nike Land and even NFL, like how the NFL is kind of building their own little platform on Roblox. So that's good to see. But Tom, I'll say the market didn't like these earnings too much.
Yeah, it didn't it at all. And Roblox is down in a big way. We were actually having a really good day heading into market close. We actually ended up 7.29%. And now we fell all the way down to $60 right around the low there. And we're trading around 64. So it's going to get volatile. I'm not sure, Mike. Sometimes we've seen these stocks pop back to the upside after these drops, but we'll have to see how Roblox ends up playing out. It's going to be a tough one. You know, like you said, they are pretty promising for the future. They're getting into the metaverse and everything like that. And I actually saw a really good statement where Bank of America compared them to an early version of like Apple and Microsoft. So that was interesting to see. But either way, it's good to see the big players talking about it.
You know it. And then with the next one, we have Airbnb. Airbnb stock is also going crazy in after hours. They closed right around $180 a share. And right now they're trading for around $188 to $189 per share. Tom, Airbnb earnings were pretty decent. They had a revenue of around $1.53 billion, and they were only expected to have a revenue of $1.46 billion, as we can see in the CNBC article. But overall, their guidance was pretty good, and I will say, the travel industry is definitely picking up, and we've even been seeing, I guess you can say, cruise stocks, airline stocks, and even just some other hotel stocks on the rise lately.
Yeah, we have. I know that Marriott reported this morning, Mike, and they did pretty well. And it started even pushing like Marriott to the upside. Hyatt also had a pretty good day. So yeah, the hotel stocks are doing very well. I'm glad to see that Airbnb is also doing well, Mike. I know this has been a pretty popular stock the past couple of years. And whenever we look at them on the max daily chart, they've been all over the place, but they've kind of been in a big range. So it's just good to see them continuing to play out with this good type of movement here. Maybe we'll see them up eventually, up above $200 a share. I know that's been a pretty big level for them up there.
Yeah, and then they're also anticipating their first quarter of 2022 nights and experiences booked to significantly exceed the quarter one 2019 levels. So obviously they're comparing to 2019's Q1 rather than 2020's Q1 because of everything that happened in 2020 with the world shutting down and the travel industry just getting destroyed. So either way, Airbnb is looking pretty decent heading into tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, something else that really helps the travel sector is Anthony Fauci even came out the other day and said that we're starting to get to the ending phases of COVID. So that's good. And hopefully that helps boost the industry up also. And maybe the airlines will even get a boost.
All right, and then we can't forget about Upstart, Tom. This stock is blasting up in after hours. They close right around $109 per share, and as of right now, the stock's trading for around $145 per share. Upstart actually announced a $400 million share repurchase program, so that's huge. Their EPS beat estimates, their sales beat estimates. And overall, their earnings were pretty good. And especially with that $400 million share repurchase program, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that repurchasing program is going to help them in a large way, Mike, and they are having a great move in after hours. It's very rare that we see a stock have a pop like this from $100 at the low of day to highs almost of $149.90, right around $150 at the top. That's a crazy 50-point move there. Very rare that we see stuff like this, but it's really good to hear those great numbers and the good outlook for Upstart, Mike. I just know that they've been a pretty hyped up company over the past couple of years. They were really flying up there with those growth stocks, and they were beaten down in a pretty big way. So I'm glad to see them recovering up. I know that they still have a long way to go, but at least they're starting to report some good growth here.
True that, Tom. So it's only Wednesday, and we are already seeing so much crazy movement. What other earnings do we have on the schedule for the rest of the week? Because I know we have some big ones like NVIDIA and even Palantir.
Yeah, these are huge stocks, Mike. NVIDIA is a huge company. They even did very well today, which is awesome. They are going to be reporting tomorrow after close. But tomorrow before we open, we have Shopify, TTD. Looks like we're going to also have Kraft Heinz. So we do have some there, but the bigger ones are tomorrow after close. We have NVIDIA, Applied Materials, Matterport, which has been a pretty big, pretty hyped up stock lately. I know that a lot of people have been getting into that one as well. Even Cisco and DoorDash. So tomorrow's definitely going to be a big day, Mike. Probably the biggest day of the week, if we're being honest. I know that we love DraftKings, but NVIDIA is just such a large company. Tomorrow's going to be pretty important for them. And then, of course, we can't forget Palantir and Roku. But man, NVIDIA had one great day today, Mike. They were up 9.18%. And with them having earnings, I mean, it's going to be pretty big tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's pretty rare to see a 9% up day on NVIDIA. Like, they're such a large company, and it's hard to move up 9% in one day. So we're definitely set for a giant day tomorrow. And then, Tom, I know the market itself was kind of all over the place today. It wasn't excessively bullish, but at the same time, a 1.6% up day is pretty good. And I know there was a couple important Russia and Ukraine updates. So what's going on?
Yeah, these updates are actually some pretty good ones coming out of Russia here. Russia said this morning that they began a partial troop pullback, which is great to hear. Obviously they've been putting troops near the Ukrainian border over the past couple of weeks, and it looks like they are starting to scale that back a little bit. And then we actually had Biden talk today, and he said that he pledges to defend Americans and the NATO allies with America's full force, which is a pretty good thing. Obviously he said that all NATO countries are going to act as one, and that if Russia attacks one, the US is going to come to their aid. So I guess that's good news. And obviously the market popped up this morning. I think the biggest stuff was really just the news with Russia saying that they're pulling back their troops. That's great news. And it made the market go up quite a bit in pre-market. It didn't really run up whenever the market opened, like you said, Mike, but we also saw crude oil start to pull back down from $95 all the way back to 92 here.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, we have a lot going on with, of course, individual stock earnings, but of course with crude oil and other commodities and even the market overall. So yeah, as we can see, GLD fell a little bit today. But Tom, looking at the SPY by itself, what are the most important levels you're watching?
446 has been such a key level over the past few weeks, and I was really surprised to see the SPY have this much consolidation around 446 today. We're also sitting right on that 1,000 SMA on the 5-minute chart and after hours. So we'll have to see how the SPY can move. If we end up breaking above 446, I feel like we might have a pretty good chance to retest 448 and then maybe come back up towards 450. So hopefully we see a nice break to the upside. As far as movement back down, Mike, there's going to be a pretty big support down there around 442 that I'm seeing.
Sounds good. And then how about we check out that calendar for the rest of the week? Like, I know there's been a lot of volatility already, but we have all of those Fed speakers later in the week, and we have the FOMC minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So, guys, definitely be on the lookout for this. FOMC minutes, 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Watch the market. It's going to be wild. Plus, we have all of the speeches later in the week, too.
Yeah, those speeches are going to be pretty important. I know that Bullard actually spoke earlier in the week, and then that ended up moving the markets a little bit. But looking at those FOMC minutes, Mike, that's going to be pretty crucial to hear what the Fed talked about in their last meeting. I'm sure that they're going to be more hawkish than people might be expecting. So definitely be on the lookout. Like Mike said, guys, that's going to be a pretty important event coming tomorrow. And then we'll definitely cover those speeches in tomorrow's video a little bit more in depth.
You know it. So, Tom, I want to shout out our member of the day really quickly. So, huge shout out to Joel C. Thank you so much for all of the support on YouTube. Tom and I really appreciate you. And if you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. We post brand new videos every single day, and comments really help us out. So if you leave us a comment down below, we answer almost every comment. It helps out the channel, and you guys get your question answered. So if you guys need anything, let us know in the comments down below. But Tom, do you have like any final thoughts or anything before we wrap up today's video?
Yeah, I really hope that there's not any more crazy news with Russia. Hopefully they keep scaling back their troops, and then we can see maybe a slowdown, and maybe we'll start to see that volatility also slow down here. The market's been all over the place, but on the bright side, Mike, today was just such a good day. We had tons of growth stocks in the green. Blink was up 6.9%. We had Sunrun moving up almost 9% as well. Like we talked about a little bit earlier, Matterport had a great day, up 9%. Even AMC is almost back up towards $20 here, up 9.7%. So the growth stocks seem like they have a lot of momentum right now, and this might keep up for a couple of days. So definitely watch these stocks. I would say if Russia keeps pulling back their troops, we have a pretty good chance maybe for a good turnaround here.
There we go. So before we end today's video, we can't forget about those momentum plays. So Tom, with the first one, we have NEO to the upside.
Yeah, with NEO, go ahead and make them break out above $26. That's looking like a pretty good resistance there.
Sounds good. With the next one, we have Teladoc.
Yeah, TDOC, go ahead and make them break up above 75.25. And like we said, these growth stocks are on fire.
Alrighty. And with the last one, we have good old BABA.
Yeah, BABA, even the China stocks did good today. Go ahead and make them break up above 127. That's going to be actually a really good resistance from the past couple weeks.
Sounds good. So we are watching BABA, Teladoc, and NEO for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. And if you guys trade options, definitely check out that first link in the description down below. Our bot calls out daily options to day trade. We can see today's call out were the BABA 125 strike calls that were alerted at $300 each. They ran all the way up to $385 each within a couple hours. The bot's been doing pretty well lately, so definitely check it out. You can cancel at any time. You get access to daily option swing trades, day trades, an awesome community, and we're always adding new features. So you can cancel at any time. We have a coupon running, so definitely check it out. And last but not least, if you guys are new here, definitely consider subscribing. We post brand new videos every single day. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.